The warehouses are in business, and by participating in warehousing system, which is government driven, they're still in business. What we are saying is that the actions in the industry, and especially in the agriculture industry, need to be coordinated. WRS is a regulator, and therefore what we're doing is to put in system and processes to ensure that the warehousing private sector are able to play their role, participate in the sector, and a sector which is organized with clear rules and regulations. So it is better to play your game where there are rules, and therefore you do not have any other people coming in and undercutting you. So it's a partnership between the private sector being organized. If you look at the history of this country, small-scale farmers have never been organized. There are instances where we saw cooperatives, and in some sector, for instance, the milk industry, where they were able to come together, small-scale farmers, pooling their resources, organize into a cooperative, and be able to produce their produce to, for instance, to KCC. But when you come to the actual non-milk production, there's not been systematic organization. Warehousing receipt system is trying to ensure that we bring in the small-scale farmers and bringing the quantities, the small quantities together, so that we do aggregation, and by the end of the day, we use economic units that are able to now to be able to be sold together. We are looking at a number of things, from storage to marketing and to stabilizing the prices, and even going further to ensure there is food security. So it's a good thing when we can bring a group of farmers together, aggregate their produce and look for the market, and also ensure that even the storage it's well organized. The technology is being used widely in most sectors, and what we are trying to do now is to ensure that as WRS we have information across the country of what is available in terms of products and produce. The good thing is that also farmers now can benefit with this expanded database, given that now their produce, once is aggregated and stored properly and recorded, we are able to know what quantities we have at what point and where. Even when now the produce is, for instance, is stored in warehouses, farmers can be able to keep track of their goods, can be able to keep track of the market and the prices. And when the time is right, they are able to come together and be able to sell their produce, and with that they don't have to worry, because the information is available and there's full disclosure of whatever is happening. We have to take advantage of the regional economic blocks, and the ESC is one of the most vibrant economic blocks. What we are saying that farmers now do not have to worry about their produce to be marketed in Kenya. They can take advantage of the bigger market, which is the ESC, which has more than 160 million. And therefore, even as they produce, they'll be producing for the region as well as for the market outside the country. So this is good for farmers because we're able to see, for instance, the comparative advantage. The food which is produced here, the surpluses that will be there, can now have a wider market. So this is good for the farmers. What we need to do is to ensure that the farmers understand the concept. The farmers have trust in the WRS. The farmers are aware, and therefore, when we start cooperating, and which we are going to do because we're going to create even regional offices to ensure that there is proper coordination, not only within the farming community, but also with the counties and the WRS, and ensure that when it comes to food, produce, farmers coordination, all this is coordinated, and ensure by the end of the day, we believe that even farmers will benefit in terms of better prices, in terms of nutritional value, in terms of reducing the losses in the cereals and grains and pearls, because we are going to ensure quality control when their produce is being stored in the warehouses. My rallying call is that let's work together to ensure that this is a win-win situation for all. We need to come together as WRS, which is an organization mandated to ensure that the licensing of warehouses and the storage of produce and products, and also the businessmen community should also come together so that we play as a team and benefit. Ensure that by the end of the day, the farmers who before were not coordinated are coordinated. The aggregation of food and produce in these countries is done in the right way. We have quality control, and by the end of the day, we increase employment, we increase the incomes, and we stabilize the prices so that farmers now can be able to get value for their produce.